All right, everybody's going to have to bear with me here. I might have trouble getting through this speech. First of all, I want to congratulate Paul Klemick, Tiffany Massour, Jeff Moore, and Greg Butler. You guys are awesome athletes, awesome people on and off the field. I know that for a fact. The funny joke, Tiffany, is every time her brother Kenny played here at Stockton with me, and every time Kenny screwed up at practice, I said, that's it. I'm calling Coach Preston, and I'm making a trade. I want Tiffany on my team. That's the truth. I said that almost every other day. Greg and Jeff, you guys were two of the best players I've ever coached. And you know everything else. I've been a part of a few Hall of Fame ceremonies before in the past recently, and everyone always says, I don't know what to say, and I feel all I should do is really thank everyone. And I said, it's because you didn't get here by yourself. One of my famous quotes of all time is, some people are born on third base, but actually go through the whole life thinking that they're the one who hit the triple. Think about that. Colleagues, friends, family, etc. hit singles to move you along, take a walk to move you along, get hit by a pitch to move you along, sacrifice to move you along those base paths. So I first would like to thank Tim Lenahan for convincing me to leave the College of New Jersey and become his assistant coach here at Stockton. I would like to thank Larry James for taking a chance on a 31-year-old rookie coach with no head coaching experience at any level. Larry didn't say much when he hired me, but when he gave me the head coaching job, he said, Hainesy, I know you're going to win. Just make sure you do it the right way. And I think we did that, and I think we continue doing that today. Thanks, Larry. I want to thank Sal Catafamo and Allison Henry for bringing me on to Stockton as a full-time employee, as assistant director of admissions. Sal and Allison became great friends immediately, along with Steve, Mel, Heather, etc. in admissions. The men's soccer program and I will never forget all of your support over the years, and we'll never be able to thank you enough. I also want to thank John Iacovelli, who stepped in and filled my void that Sal left behind, and I thank you as well. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Farris for making me feel important at Stockton, even when I knew I wasn't. Dr. Kesselman, you made full-time coaches happen here at Stockton almost immediately when I proposed this crazy idea. Thank you for making my career at Stockton. I will never be able to repay you. I want to thank Dr. Marchetti for all his support and for flying to Wheaton, Illinois in 1999 for the first Final Four appearance of the men's soccer program. We unfortunately lost in 1999, but after the game, Joe came onto the field and said, maybe Stockton can win a national championship. He said that because a few administrators earlier that year in our company stated, we can't win a national championship here at Stockton. And as most of you know, I jumped in immediately and said, yes, we can. We did it, Joe. I want to thank Dr. Conran for all of her support in athletics, the men's soccer program, and to me personally. It has always meant a lot to me and always will. I would like to thank all of the departments on campus. Each and every one have played a major role in us reaching the summit. Housing, financial aid, admissions, academic advising, the skills center, student records, athletic support staff, coaches, professors, the UF program, campus police, that's just for protection during the rowing games. Our grounds and plant and facilities, the keep our field impeccable, athletic training services, and John Heck for being the best in the business. We certainly can't do this alone. Pat Croce always says, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So I always ask. I would like to thank my 12th and 13 men, Dr. Jan Colleen and Dr. Tom Greitz, who have been involved with our program heavily from day one. Name it. Name it, and they've dropped everything for me, my players, with no questions asked. Gentlemen, you've made my job easier and my players' experience here at Stockton more memorable. We can't thank you guys enough. You're the best. I don't want to forget the Hall of Fame committee, John Heck, Chris Roman, Stu Newcomb, Paul Chambers, I guess Jerry Matthews, Dr. Greitz, Val Julian, for this honor. I want to thank all the people who made that memorable trip to Messiah College on Thanksgiving weekend in Grantham, PA. We all appreciate the time and support you gave us that weekend, and it inspired us to dig a little deeper. I want to thank George Nazario from the College of New Jersey. After a big pregame NCAA championship meeting with committee members, officials, coaches, ADs, media, etc., George and I walked back together across Messiah's campus. Excuse me. This is the toughest part. Went down a big hill, over a covered bridge, back to the stadium locker room, where my team was waiting for me to deliver the pregame speech and instructions. George and I are good friends, and not one word was said for that 10-minute walk until we arrived back to the stadium. We hugged. I started to go into the locker room. He grabbed me and said, "Give me your hand." I did. He put a watch in my hand, and he said, "This is what the NCAA gives you when you win the national championship." He said, "Give me your other hand." I gave him my other hand. And he put his national championship ring in my right hand. He said, "This is what your school gives you when you win the national championship." George told me to take these into the locker room and let them, your team, take a look at them. So we did. We passed them around the locker room, and not one word was said. We left the locker room with a little bit more motivation. George said, "Keep them in your pocket during the game for good luck." I said, "Thanks, but I'm going to get my own tonight." Maybe that was the difference. Thanks, Georgie. One of my biggest goals in life was to win a national championship and to do what, to my knowledge, no other college soccer team has done before. That's right, cut the nets down. From the goal we score, the game-winning goal, I asked Lonnie before the Final Four, to get with Messiah's AD and tell him that I have a blank check to buy their nets if we win. I gave the check to Lonnie, and he said, "Get to the final, and I will ask him." With the final tied at the half, Lonnie called me over and said, "Whatever you do, don't cut the nets down if you win." I said, "Why not?" And he said, "Messiah's AD said that they're not for sale." I said, "You got to be kidding me. This is that Christian school, right?" I said, "You better talk to him again and get it done." Well, here it is. Lonnie, because of you, everyone on this team has a piece of this net. Some faculty, alumni, staff, admission secretaries, deans, family members, etc., have a piece of this net. We will have this forever, and thanks for making this piece of our dream come true. It's surely one of my most prized possessions. I want to thank my parents for supporting me with this great game called soccer, watching me play for 20 plus years, coach for 21 years. Thanks, Mom. I love you. I want to thank my relatives, friends, my college teammates, my college coaches who attended Final Four. I guess I got to thank my wife, even though I didn't meet her until 2002. So maybe I should thank all my girlfriends back then. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She knows me. Thanks, Chrissy, Abby, and Emmy. I love you guys. You're my biggest fans. And thanks for putting up with all the long nights and travel. I appreciate it. Thanks for allowing me to do what I love to do. I'd like to thank Congressman Frank Lobiondo, who gave the champs a personal tour of the Capitol. We visited the Supreme Court, the House of Representatives. I was given a personal letter signed by President Bush, and for allowing me to stand on the prestigious gold presidential star, which each president has stood on since Woodrow Wilson before he's introduced to Congress in the House of Representative chambers. I would like to thank my assistant coaches for helping me build this team and for coming up a way to beat each opponent each and every game. Jimmy Connor and Chris Weiner, I will always be thankful for your work towards this goal of ours. I also would like to recognize Joe Eimer for helping us build this incredible team. You are certainly a part of it. And all of your volunteer work that you put into our program each and every year and still today. And Tommy Sauer, thanks for being a loyal supporter to me and to this program since you arrived at Stockton. I really appreciate it. In closing, this group of players went 25-1-1, set an all-time record for wins in a season for all divisions, which stands today. For divisions 1, 2, and 3 of all time, no team has ever won 25 games before. This team went 15-1-1 against teams that were in the NCAA tournament that year. 15-1-1. That's ridiculous. I mean, most college teams in any sport, you might play one team that made it to the NCAA tournament, maybe two. We went 15-1-1. That's probably the most amazing statistic out of that whole entire season. Set the school record for goals in the season with 88. Set the school record for shutouts in the season with 16. And before I go, my wife said to me a while back, winning this national championship really made this team close. I said, you got it wrong. We won the national championship because we were so close. So, gentlemen, like the famous lyrics in the song "We Are Champions" by the legendary rock band Queen, you brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it, and I thank you all.